This is a Suboptimal podcast. Check out our suboptimal content at suboptimal.co.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 20 of 2.5 Weebs. This week,
Big 2-0.
yeah, the big 2-0. This week we decided to do a special episode and go backwards a little bit and watch episodes 4, 5, and 6 of The Promised Neverland. We're also going to be talking about episodes 10 and 11 of Fairy Gone because we missed last week.
Definitely didn't miss an episode for any holidays or anything. That'd be crazy. We're too committed for that.
Yeah, it was Father's Day, and then Comfy also was like at E3 and shit all that week anyway, so he was
I
a very busy boy that whole time.
Comfy was being a professional gamer.
Actually,
I
yes.
was being a pro gamer.
Actually, he was.
We'll talk about that later in the miscellaneous section of the podcast.
Okay. So episodes 4, 5, and 6 of The Promised Neverland.
Man, Sister is still my favorite character. 100%.
I don't
Totally
like her
freaked me out.
character at all.
What?
I don't like her character at all. She actually isn't like doing anything now. At least she didn't seem to be
I
to
was
me.
dripping in sarcasm, by the way.
Oh, I could tell. I know, but man, like, I don't remember what the hell she was doing even.
Right now, she's trying to overthrow Mom so that she can
Yes.
become the new Mom. Even though Mom told her, "Hey, just like do what I say, and I'll make sure you get kids. Like you're good."
But she wants to be this mom. It's like, but why?
Yeah, no, she's
Is-
being
is
like
it-
super bratty about it all. Hey, Mr. Copper, do we have like an episode like breakdown?
For the episodes,
Yeah.
not really.
Damn.
It's been over a week. I've been busy. But
Been
the
having
gist,
busy.
the gist of very busy. The gist of it is that for these 3 episodes is that the last time we touched the show, there was a traitor was kind of
Yes.
thought about. So these 3 episodes deal with them finding who the traitor is, it being a surprising person, dealing with the fallout of that, and finding out why that person is a traitor and for how long, and then ending at an interesting point where they get an offer from the sister that we don't know if they're going to take because it's cliffhanger ending.
Mm-hmm. So like,
Basically, they figure out that there's a snitch somewhere, and they're like, "Well, who is it?" Well, we have. Hey, by the way, while we know that there's a snitch, what we should also do is try to open up our circle to add 2 more people to it because kids are fucking dumb.
mhm.
And so they open up their circle, they add 2 people, and then they're like, "All right, I'm pretty sure one of these 2 people is the snitch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell them 2 different things, and hide 2 fake pieces of evidence, and whichever one gets taken, that's the person who's the snitch." Surprise, surprise! It was neither of them. It was Ray the entire time. That backstabbing son of a bitch. But he was smart about it because he knew that the only way for them to escape was to trick them into thinking that they had it all under control. Something like that, yeah?
Yeah, basically, it's discovered that Ray is a quote traitor or spy for Mom.
Or backstabbing son of a bitch is
Yes.
a good terminology for it.
Yes, but in reality, he's actually been working for Mom since he was 6.
Yes,
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah, so ever since he was a small kid, he's been working for Mom because when he was a small child, he found out about the secret. So he's known about
For a very long time.
everything about people, being, cattle and whatnot, and what their ultimate fate is for 6 years.
And
And
funny
has
enough,
told nobody.
he was the person who convinced Emma, and I don't know what the dude with the white hair's name is. I forget.
Yeah, he's the one who
Like
told them to
Morton or
go
some shit.
after Mom and the young girl they see murdered,
Yeah,
which is what leads
with
them to
the
find
rabbit.
out. Because I forget her name. He's the one who tells them, "Yeah, you've got time. Go after her now, and you can make it," knowing full well
Yes.
that one,
They would figure
don't
it
have
out.
time, and 2, once
They're
they get
gonna
there,
see what they saw, which is
yes.
demons eating people.
So he fully well knew that and was basically bringing them into the conspiracy that he was setting up, um, to help everybody escape without
Mhm.
actively telling anybody about it, just so he had
Yeah.
plausible deniability with mom in case something went wrong.
Now, do we ever get any kind of information on what he is going to end up gaining as a benefit
The
from working
benefit
with mom? Like, is he
that he
still going
got
to get
from
eaten?
mom was that he wouldn't be called early.
So he
So
would have to live 6 additional years knowing he's going to be
Yeah,
eaten.
he'd live a long and fruitful life until the old, ripe age of 12.
yes, and
So
it is
he,
now his
yeah,
12th
that
birthday
sounds
that is coming
terrible.
up. He full well knew like what his ultimate fate was, and the deal was basically that as long as I help you and keep my scores up, I won't be called until as long as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and get to live. And
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Yeah,
So
But
that's
pretty
the
now
much.
he wants to bamboozle it and
but
survive.
the whole time he was plotting an escape. Like for
Yep.
the last 6 years, he's been plotting a way to like lull mom into a false sense of security that he's working with her, isn't going to betray her, anything like that, and making sure that he's got people in place where he can escape. He's also experimented over the last 6 years with the tracking devices in their ears, which
Mhm.
has probably, it's alluded to, led to certain kids being called early and killed,
Yes.
knowing full well that that's what was happening if he fucked up when he was experimenting with them. Um, so he's done a bunch of stuff over the years to figure out how to get out, um, and what everything is going on from the demon's perspective as much as he could, and had planned basically to go, I'm taking these two people because these two people can help me escape.
These
Fuck
two
everybody
people aren't
else.
idiots,
And
but he was still playing them super hard.
yes. And he knew all the time, like while they were like plotting, like, what do we do? What do we do? And he's like, I don't know, da da da. Yet he had all this info because he didn't want to give it to them in case something slipped or
Yep.
in case they refused to leave the rest of the people behind, which is what has occurred. Because what's her face chick
Emma
there?
cares a lot about the young kids, but Ray is like, there's no way that the kids will make it because they're fucking kids.
Yeah, they're
They
children,
can't.
so
They can't run. They can't hide. They're very loud.
he's aware that those young kids can't make it, right?
Yeah.
There's this giant wall they've got to get over. They've got to run from demons. They don't know what their food situation is going to be like. It's going to be more mouths to feed for people who cannot contribute to their
Yeah.
flight. So there's all these issues that he's considered. And he's like, we can't take them or we will die. And she's like, we have to take them. And his
We have to take them or they'll die. If we
yeah
take them, they will die, and so will we.
yeah. So he's like,
Yes.
we have to cut our losses. It's what he's been doing for the last 6 years, is basically going, I have to cut my losses on some of these people by experimenting on them. And he made a deal with the white haired guy where um, he would work
They're
with
going
him,
to, yeah, they're going
but
to plan as though they're not taking all the kids.
and lie to Emma. So they're going to
Yes.
lie to her, saying we're going to take everybody. That's still the plan, but in reality, the plan is, as far as the white haired guy and Ray is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
is that we're not taking everyone. We're taking the few people with us that can keep up, which is like the two other people they brought into the group. And everybody else is basically fucked because if we take them, we're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because there's like literally like 3 and 4 year olds and shit, and they're like, we can't.
Yes.
They'll slow us down and get us killed.
Well, there's more than
And
that. It's the fact
they
of,
added a like. Isn't there like literally an infant that came in, and that was like
yeah,
the big
yeah,
point?
yeah, there's an infant that came in. Um, Also, you
That
got to
was like
remember
a
that
big
if you're
point.
trying to, like, let's say you're running away, right? There's a big difference between running away with like that, 4 or 5 people have escaped a farm and gone missing, versus a whole farm's worth of
yeah.
cattle that has gone missing. like 4 or 5
Listen,
and I go,
if two
man,
fat sheep like disappear, you're gonna be like, damn, that sucks. But
we'll
I
look
don't
for
have
them.
enough time and resources to really super care about these two sheep. But
But,
I have enough to try for a little bit. If
but
all your goddamn sheep disappear,
you're gonna do like move heaven and earth to find what the fuck happened
yeah,
with my
you're
sheep.
gonna find your damn sheep. And in case anybody is like, are you calling children sheep? Yes, we are.
Yes, the children in the show are 100% sheep. They are literal cattle.
Have you seen Chicken Run?
Yeah, it's,
I love Chicken Run the anime. It's so good.
yeah. The show is basically Chicken Run the anime. That's
I
where we're at.
remember
Like,
there were a few episodes ago when you were telling me that, and it took me a minute to go, like, what the fuck?
yes, the show is 100% Chicken Run. It's kind of strange in that regard, but like it's a strange comparison, but it's a very apt comparison. The problem here is that Chicken Run was light and funny. This is very much they're gonna murder and eat these children if if they get to do what they want. So much darker tone.
Yeah, it's
But that
super
said,
dark.
it's a good show, and it continued to be a good show over these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's still good.
Yeah, the so at one episode, I think it was number 5, the like 2 people that they brought in, who they bring in, they brought in Don and Gilda, and they find out that there is a secret room that Mother has hidden in her office, and they are determined to like figure out what's in there. So they, like, going against the other kids' wishes, break in and they go underneath, and they end up discovering all of the toys that are left behind, and they actually see for themselves that this is actually happening.
Well, they're told pretty much straight off that the secret room is probably where Mom makes her communications to
The
like whatever
demons
head
or whatever,
office
yeah.
And
is.
stuff. Yeah.
Because Ray's like, this is what she does. She has to do it every day. This is where she goes when she disappears. Like, this is what she's doing. We don't want to go in there because we do not want to tip her off about what's going on. Like, avoid the room. We know it's there. Avoid it. Like,
Yeah.
just don't mention it. Don't allude to it. Do not try to get into it. And they're like,
Too bad.
nah.
Here we go. We're sneaking in. They almost get themselves caught and killed.
Hey guys, you know what you shouldn't do is literally this exact thing. Thanks, bye. Proceeds to go do it.
Right. Man.
Excuse me.
People are smart.
Well, that's the thing. They're not. These two, well, Ray, or, no, not Ray. Dawn is not the brightest bulb,
No.
which is.
Ray is proving to be the best character because he doesn't give a shit about other people.
He cares about himself and he cares about Emma, and that's literally it.
Well, no. He cares about people who can pull their damn weight. That's what it is.
No, he's got. It's alluded that he has feelings for Emma directly.
Yeah, but
Everybody else, if you are a impediment to his plans in any way, then he's going to try to get rid of you.
Makes
Which
sense.
which I mean,
probably why he tried to blame Dawn, or not Dawn, for the being the traitor, because he's like,
yeah.
this guy's useless. If he gets brought in, he's gonna fuck it up. I'm just gonna blame him, and that'll get that dealt with. Of course, the white-haired guy tricks him, and there's actually 3 traps. Dawn is one of them. Gilda's one, and then a third one was set for him because they are each told different things. Because if you're going to set an actual trap, that's what you would do. And he gets caught.
Yeah, pretty much. But she's not mad. She's just disappointed.
Yeah, and then when Emma's like, "Well, who's the traitor? We still have a traitor." Ray's like, "It's me." Just straight up, like, "It's me. I'm the one."
I'm kind of surprised. I don't.
For 6 years. And she's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah."
For 6 years? For 20 years?
She's like, "Why?" He's like, "I did it for reasons." And she's like, "Okay, I guess."
1,000 years? Gives you such a crick in the neck.
Okay. Have you seen the new Aladdin movie?
I've seen what?
Have you seen the new
No.
Aladdin movie? I haven't either. I don't care to.
No.
I was just curious.
I have not.
All right.
I also haven't seen Toy Story 4, which came out this weekend.
I
also
haven't
have not seen that.
seen Toy Story 3.
I've heard a lot of people talking about Toy Story 4 and about how Keanu Reeves is the best part of it.
He
Yeah,
is in
somebody
it.
was.
He is 100% in it.
Keanu Reeves is going
Unfortunately.
to take over the internet.
We'll talk about
already
Keanu
has.
Reeves
Okay.
more later.
He
Okay.
did that a while ago, in case you hadn't noticed.
That's true. That's a good point. All right. But yeah, so then like episode.
So the big happening in the episode after that in
Was they
episode six-
discover like these Morse code books and these Morse codes in this series of books, and they start to figure out that there might be some answers to have there.
Yeah, there was like a message left for them in Morse code in one of the books, and like the seal.
Yeah, so the thing is they're starting to figure out that they're not the only ones who've ever, tried to escape and whatnot, which is cool. And so they're trying to figure that out now, and the other big happening is the whole sister approaching them and saying, "Hey,
Let's
why
work
don't
together.
why don't we work together and I can help you out?"
And that's like the end of that episode. Big old
Yes.
cliffhanger. I assume this series is done. At least this season is done. We watched this a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yes.
Yeah.
So if anybody wanted to catch up and keep going, they could finish this off easily enough. We're
Yeah. There's many episodes.
basically halfway through, I think.
Are we?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's a 12-episode show.
Can we hope that Fairy Gone is?
A 12-episode show? Oh no, it's not going to be.
You're probably
We
right.
can quit after one season.
Well, yeah, we will. But like, if it's gonna be 24 a season,
Oh, I'm pretty sure Fairy Gun's going to be a 24 season show, just because of like how far the plot has gone. It doesn't feel like it's gone anywhere far enough for them to wrap anything up.
yeah, we'll get there.
Which
Well, it
is,
feels like they're trying to climax in the last like 3 episodes, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest, I have no idea what happened.
yeah, I don't remember.
I know. I remember the end of the episode of the second episode, which was, wait, the attack at the West Castle was a fluke.
Yeah.
They were tricking us so they could invade with fairy weapons and fairies. What?
They're like,
It's like
what are
who
they
could have
trying to
seen
do?
this
Start a
coming?
war? Are they madmen? It's like, yes, they're trying to start a war.
Yes, they're trying to start a war. So, Fairy Gone is, forgettable, and they're trying to start a war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to call it bad. It's just, man, like
Yeah.
It's like it's hitting all the right notes, but just
not doing them. Yeah, it's hitting the right notes for an interesting story, an interesting tale. It's just doing them in such a way that you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it's
I want to know if the source material is better. That's my curiosity at this point. Is like, is the source material for this show better than what we've seen out of the actual show?
Okay, so real quick before we move on to the Fairy Gone, would you guys sound like you'd recommend
Oh yeah,
Promised
it's
Neverland?
fairy or
Promise
Promise-
Neverland is still good.
It's a pretty good
still
show.
It's still a full recommend.
I recommend it too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
the
don't
full
think I'll
recommend for the first 3. The mystery and everything is just deepening halfway through. More elements are being added in. Great show still. Great voice acting. Great animation. Interesting story. I still want to know what happens going farther. Like, do they get away? What happens when they get away? So it's definitely worth investing time in this one.
I don't think I will be watching any more of it myself, but that's just like just a time thing,
You have no
honestly.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I haven't watched aside from these shows, I've watched nothing and played no games like over the last like week and a half, just
Yeah.
because I've been so busy.
Oh man, I'm like yes, but also no. I'll be right back. Start talking about the next.
Okay. So the episode before, wait, no, episode, it would be episode 9 of Fairy Gone, started to show signs of life. Remember how they were like, hey, this train is being attacked and blah blah blah.
They
And
crushed those
something
embers
was
pretty damn quick.
something was happening, and then the next episode they decided to have a episode about how Marlia was like a whiny bitch because somebody died.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Well,
you are
2
literally
people
a government
look like-
soldier. People fucking die, and
Yeah,
she
it's
like
the first time they
literally.
lost one of theirs, and they're like, "What's
It's
going on?
like-
Why is he? Like, why is the government taking the body?" It's like because he's got a fairy organ in him. Like he's
Well, yeah, no big deal. Like she was freaking out about it. It's like, I mean, not like it's not a big deal because like it was like the very first Dorothea soldier to ever die, and it's like, well, I guess
well the
That's-
first one that she's met. Yeah,
no. I thought no. I
I think it's the first time they lost somebody.
yeah.
To
I think so.
death. It's never really told like if everybody's ever left like Dorothea, because they had the one guy, remember, joined from like the military police. Like he came over to joined Dorothea, but he held a different position before that. So
Yeah.
it's hard to say if there's other people out there who've left because they went elsewhere in the government. Because there is that ministry that deals with fairies, right? The fairy ministry that Dorothea reports to. So technically, people could work there as well. So it's hard to say because as much as the show's like, there's only a few of these people, we've seen a shitload of these people running around. Because the show was directed like, there's only like what was it, like 17 of them left, and we've met like how many so far? And it's like,
Yeah.
and this person's not accounted for, and this person's not accounted for. And it's like, the fuck, like, who did you
Yeah. It's gonna be, I don't know, but like, you do end up learning that Marlia was kind of sort of raised with the mob, I guess, at some point. Like she ended up being set up as a
She was raised
bodyguard for a
basically-
mob boss who ended up
Yes.
being like, they mentioned that he wasn't like a very violent mob boss, but
No, but he's
I
one of the
guess.
bosses of one of the big families, and she was basically set up to be a member of the mob.
yes.
That's-
And he is, he thinks of her as like a daughter, and he thinks of, or she thinks of him as like a father. And then they do this whole thing where like her coworkers follow her on her vacation,
Yep.
like fucking dickheads. And then they just walk up in there and are like, hey, we're
They're like, "Hey,
here.
bitch, we're here.
We're here to interrupt your conversation. And then like dude face McDude puts Free down on the couch and is like, what are your intentions?
It's like, "What are your intentions with my daughter?"
It's like, I work with her,
It
eat
ain't-
dick.
it ain't like that, dude.
I work with her, eat. And then it's just like this terrible episode where at the end, like everybody's smiley and like they're happy about it. And it was like the garbagest filler episode ever that didn't accomplish anything. And then they get a letter. When do they find this letter? They find a letter. Remember that? They are given a letter
But I'm
to.
not sure when they find it.
No, it was right before they board the train to go home. Somebody finds them and hands them a letter to deliver to like the prime minister or something.
Yes. Yeah.
From
they're
a
approached
duke.
by well, what's his face's people, the Duke guy. And they're like, "Here, give this to the prime minister."
Uh huh.
And you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, and I just, I hate Marlia. I hate her. It's a terrible character. Like she doesn't do anything except like, yeah, I'm here. It's like, God damn it. It's like the blonde kid from Attack on Titan, except he might not quite get everybody killed like he did.
Oh, Armin, yeah.
Fucking Armin. Yeah, I hate that kid. Sorry if Armin's your favorite Attack on Titan character. I don't care.
I'm sorry if you are listening to this and you like Armin. You suck. Your taste is horrible. Please
That's
change.
rude. A little
Please
bit.
change your taste.
That's okay.
Ain't nobody like him. Come on now.
Right. What is that sound?
What sound?
I don't know. Sounds like it's coming through your mic. It's like lasers.
You might be picking up the girlfriend playing Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
Like
All right. So there's some lasers in this podcast. This is Star Wars now.
So if you like Final Fantasy 14, there's some sound effects for you.
Pew
Sorry, what
pew.
did I miss?
We
the
explained
fact that
how
we-
episode 9 was filler bullshit about how Marlia was like, "Meh, somebody died. I hate it." And then it was just filler, and then they got a letter. Sasha, don't be a bitch. I'm busy. Don't start, dog.
Sasha, don't be a bitch. I'm busy. Love it.
Yeah, that's obviously my dog.
So yeah,
Story.
and it's nothing important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
just like if you had, watched
Missed-
this episode, you
yeah,
missed
you-
nothing important.
You missed filler. The only important thing was as they were leaving, we talked about how one of the dukes gave them a letter to hand deliver to the prime minister, which you find out later is important. And if somebody would have had a fucking phone, things might have ended differently. Introducing episode 11, where it opened up with some duke being removed from power. Like
Yes.
the duke who stole the fairy weapon before basically staged a coup to overthrow and become separate from the unified government. I forget what it's called.
Oh no.
And so they
Fake Landia.
fake Landia? I don't know what it's called. I don't recall. I could Google it.
As you can tell, chat, we're super invested in this show that we can remember everything off the top of our heads.
Mm-hmm.
We care very much about this show and its storyline and where it goes.
And
Yeah.
yet we can remember everything that happened to, like the
The
Promised Neverland.
the unified Zaskia Empire. So he wanted to go away from it. So they end up setting up a resistance, and so what the government does is they then send a whole army to go basically to go stop the coup and shut down their resistance. So they do that, and they show up and they stomp them, and the whole time they're like, man, they're not really putting up much of a fight, and we're kicking their asses really easy. And then you also get the point where Free, Marlia, and the other two Dorothea people that are there? What are the other? They deliver the letter like they were supposed to. And the prime minister reads it and goes, oh, hey, that was a distraction. They're attacking us here. Which, if they would have just had a cell phone or a phone of any sort, rather than relying
It's
on
like
hand-delivered
Seinfeld.
letters while there's fairy magic, the whole thing would have been avoided.
It's like Seinfeld. Like every single problem could have been solved with a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
So we get to see
Except, George's problem of being in the pool.
that Colonel whatever the fuck dude who had the fairy weapon. He shows up to attack the castle or something, whatever they called it. It was the castle where the big leader lives, and you would assume that they're just trying to take over the whole government. I would think. Could be wrong. But so this colonel dude, for some reason, is just unkillable. He has everybody becomes a stormtrooper ability where literally nobody can hit him, even though he's standing out in the open. And the entire time he's coming at this gate, and there's in the history of ever, nobody's ever breached this gate. And he single-handedly just walks up to it. There's like 24 soldiers shooting at him, and he just walks up to it. Nobody can hit him, and like uses his fairy to smash the wall.
Smash the Beatles.
And that was it. And that was the episode.
You ever see the last episode of Game of Thrones?
You mean
Yes.
that thing that everybody hated?
The Red Keep has never fallen. It will not fall today. Dragons. Excuse me, bitch.
Well, the dragon kind of makes some sense though, you know.
Yeah, fairies.
It's a dragon.
Yeah.
Here there be dragons. This is the most okay show I think we've ever watched.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
It's not bad, chat. If you're looking for, listeners,
It's
if you're
not
looking,
bad. It's
if you're-
just not good.
Yeah.
it's so middle of the road. It is.
That it's hard to form opinions about it.
Yeah. Or remember anything because it's forgettable.
Yeah, the show is just that. It's middle of the road and forgettable. It's not bad. It's not great.
Nobody's stand is cool.
It's just kind of there.
Nobody's stand is cool. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's
That was the worst joke you've made, and you know it, and I appreciate it.
You're fucking welcome. I'll be here all day to make worse jokes. Don't you worry.
you won't be easy to get off after this.
That's. Let me have that joke, please.
No.
Oh, okay, fine. Fuck you.
Too bad.
My name's Copper, and I'm an asshole. All right.
Yeah.
This is not
What happened?
news to anybody.
True. You're the
This was
meanest.
like-
You're like the
This
meanest
was written in
Canadian
the
anybody.
contract I signed when I started working with him, which also he sends me contracts.
I don't
One
think
of
I.
them had like something about a soul. I didn't really read it too much.
I didn't get a contract from him, but
It
Alright.
did say I am an asshole. Don't worry about it.
okay. Great. So yeah, Fairy
Don't
Gone.
worry about it.
Boring, honestly. Like it's not.
It's
It's-
ho hum, man.
It's a show.
It's a show.
It's worse JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's all I can really give it is like it's a show. If you
At the very
Really?
least, I would just recommend waiting until it's done and binging the season. Like
Yeah.
this whole like, oh,
Yeah,
gotta
it's-
watch the
it's
weekly
not one of those
Fairy
shows
Gone. It's
where
like
you need to sit down and watch the whole
Every
thing
episode when it comes out.
as it
or
comes
anything
out. Like
that.
it's not like a Food Wars. It's not like a One Punch Man. It's
I'm behind a few on One Punch.
wow.
I'm
It's
wow. I mean, yeah,
There's nothing that's screaming you need to be watching this right now.
nothing at all.
The only shows I'm currently keeping up with this season right now are Shield Hero and JoJo's, and both of those are at points in the story where I want to know what happens next, and I'm actively waiting for the newest episodes.
Is it weird that I've
Uh,
kind of like slowly lost interest in Rise of the Shield Hero? I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Nah. Not
Oh.
strange, but like
it's also good shit. Like it's a show where you can sit down and binge that show too, right? Like it's a very binge worthy show. So if you're like Dale and you're thinking of getting into it, it's not one of those shows where you need to rush in. Like you can wait and binge and enjoy your time with it
Mm-hmm.
after it's done, because it is a very long show as well, because it's one of those 25 episode shows.
Which
so,
show?
Shield Hero.
yeah, it's 25. Last episode is this week.
Yeah, so if you've been waiting or if you're behind, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You can easily catch up.
Dale finally watched the courtroom episode though, or he should have.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the episode that everybody was happy about.
Oh, is that the one with all the blood that people were like, "Yo, blood"?
No, oh my god. How
Okay.
have you not watched the next episode yet?
I
No.
would say he has not.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the
He
one?
was like, I don't get why everybody likes this episode. I'm like, that's not the one everybody's
No,
talking about. He's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna watch it.
No, no,
anyway.
no.
Like,
But I remember people being like, "Oh my God, so much blood!" And then like the one where he did the
Oh,
like
yeah,
blood
it was a lot of
sacrifice.
blood.
I was like, "Oh, was that the thing that people were freaking out about?" I don't know. It didn't seem.
That was the blood that people were freaking out about.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
Just events that are really good that happen.
No, the next episode was great. I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" I was like surprised to see such a happy episode. I was like, "What?"
It felt like we earned it because we
Yeah.
sat there for so long.
Yeah, I'm into
I was
it.
just like, please let this happen.
No, I will definitely be finishing out this season of Shield Hero. Also, Drake, those are the greatest emotes on the internet. They're pretty good, at least. No, there's no distressed Rowlet. So almost though.
Almost. Hey, it's hard to pass up Distress Rowlet.
Okay, so yeah. Moral of the story: Promised Neverland's pretty good. Fairygon is mediocre at best. Rising of the Shield Hero is pretty good. One Punch Man's pretty good.
And we've got
Comfy
some
was a busy
interesting-
cute boy at E3 this year.
He was. I don't know
Who
what
was
the
it, E3?
You.
Fish Stick, the Fortnite Pro.
Oh yeah, Fishstick the Fortnite Pro is at E3 this year.
Mhm.
1 second. I'll be right back.
Fish Stick out.
Well, that fish didn't stick. Because he had to get up
It was-
out of
I'm gonna
his
give you that one.
chair.
That was an oof.
That was a what?
Oh, them
That one was an
dressed
oof.
for the occasion.
Look, that wasn't the worst joke. Okay.
How did you
Okay.
do that?
Too many fish sticks. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I was at not this previous week, but the week before because we skipped a week because Father's Day and life.
Yep.
I was at E3. That was fun. I got to see all of the games that you wanted to see. Borderlands 3 looks and plays very, very good.
I'm
Nice.
super excited to play that in like what 11 days.
Yeah,
Oh
same.
man, no, like 3.
Look, I'm sorry, Dale.
I gotta wait till
What do you want me
September.
to do?
It's okay. It's all right.
The shooting is very clean, which is the worst. The worst part of every Borderlands game is like shooting is, man, because they decided to be like, yeah, everything's a physics object to show off our physics engine. But now that not everything's a physics object, the game plays really smooth and it's Destiny style shooting
Ooh.
to a degree.
All right. How do
Like,
you
That's
mean?
what I compared it to because it felt really clean.
Now, what do you mean everything is a physics?
So, in Borderlands, specifically Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel, every single bullet is a physics object and a projectile. There are no hit scan weapons, and everything requires timing, and everything is super random and very inaccurate.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
love Borderlands 2 for a variety of reasons, but the shooting mechanics is not one of them.
I don't disagree. Okay. Now that I know what you're
Uh,
talking about.
Yeah, like Borderlands 2 is on my list of my favorite games of all time, and the shooting is garbage. But like the guns work though for that system.
Mm-hmm. So what was like some of your favorite games that you got to play at E3?
Ghost Recon Breakpoint
Uh-huh.
was actually really, really fun.
Now, what kind of is that? Is it going to play very similar to like the most recent Ghost Recon game?
So, did you play any Wildlands?
No.
Okay, well, so Wildlands was an open world Ghost Recon game. That it was open world. You play it with 3 of your friends, and it was basically just like multiplayer Far Cry.
Uh-huh.
And it was really like arcadey and fun.
Right.
And then Breakpoint is at the same time a more grounded version of Wildlands and a more significantly ridiculous version. So it's grounded in the sense that your movement is much more restricted. You do need to play a little bit more tactical, which was very fun when we were doing the demo. But you also have like super abilities and stuff.
Neat.
And it
Wait.
was pretty fun.
Super abilities?
Yeah, like so the character I was playing was the stealth character because they just put me on the nearest computer and it was the stealth character's computer.
Uh-huh.
And her ability when you activated it was there was a smoke screen and you and your allies were invisible to the enemy and you could escape.
Uh-huh.
And we were doing an extraction mission so that like I just popped it near the end. Like we were getting shot at and we were running away and I just popped it and the guy who was running it was like, "Yeah, I probably should have told you, but that was a really smart thing to do." But so it was we finished early and our guy was like, "Well, I guess we can just fly around in the helicopter for a bit. You guys want to go crash into stuff?" And we're like, "Yeah." So we rode around and crashed into
sounds about
stuff.
right.
I went through Borderlands twice.
Nice. How long of a chunk
played,
did you get to play?
I played as Mose, who is like the chick in the tank that's called the Iron Bear.
Right.
Yes.
Because she was revealed at E3. Like we already knew who she was and stuff, but they revealed her like skill tree and play style and stuff.
I hope they do the reveal for Flack at GC. I so want to play
the
as
voice
Flack.
actor for Flack is Pro ZD, and I'm so excited. He's such a funny person. Like he has to do amazingly. And then I also played as what's his name?
Zane?
Yeah, Zane's the one he's thinking of.
Yeah, Zane, the Merc, who I really, really liked because he has an ability where you can place like a clone, kind of like Zero in Borderlands 2.
Right.
But you can teleport to the clone and swap spots with your body.
Yep.
Like, it's just super fun.
Yeah, he's got a lot of abilities that are odd. Like, he can teleport.
He has a lot of abilities.
Yeah, they all have a lot of abilities, really. But his are, like, he can place down a shield in front of himself that you can shoot through and get extra damage from doing, like everybody can.
Yep.
He's got the clone ability where enemies will shoot the clone, but you can switch places with the clone. There's some upgrades for that where like it'll throw grenades and stuff like that as well. He's got a little robot drone that he can fire out that will fly around and shoot enemies, and you can upgrade that so it starts shooting like status effects, like like acid and stuff like that. You can upgrade it so it shoots missiles instead, that like home and stuff. He's a very interesting. Yeah, he's a very interesting character. There's a lot of build diversity there for him, for sure.
I'm really excited. He was the character I played that I was like, this is super fun. I'm really, really excited about this. Let's see, what else did I play? I played Final Fantasy 14. I did fight the new raid boss.
Ooh.
Nice.
It was not easy. It was also not hard. My team was as competent at raiding as I had anticipated. I just made it through a really difficult section. You should be proud of me right now.
I see that. I'm watching.
Which is to say, for anybody who's not aware of that, they were bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah, the raid was fun, but my team was not great. And so like it's kind of annoying when you have a team that's bad, but it's fine. I met a bunch of cool people while doing it. I'm trying to remember where else I walked around and did stuff, because a lot of the other stuff that I had was meetings there's another Sniper Elite there's another Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army game coming out, which is super cool. Those games are very fun. This one they decided to just double down on like ridiculousness. They have super abilities as well, which seems to be the trend in games right now. I went inside Sniper Ghost Warrior. They added a new game. It was super cool. The meeting was cool. They showed it off. They showed off the mission. Abba, who's another awesome mixer streamer, was there, and I got to meet her and talk to her.
Wait.
And then the fire alarm started going off.
Sniper Ghost Warrior. Didn't they release a game like a few years ago that didn't really... Is that the one I'm thinking of? It was just a couple years old. It's like Sniper Warrior 3 or something.
I don't know.
Okay. I just...
You know, it could have been worse, the fire alarm. You could have been in the middle of a multi-million-dollar charity event.
I survived the fire alarm. We'll talk about that later.
That's
I didn't do any Nintendo things because Nintendo lines are ridiculous and they weren't worth it. As you could imagine, they did have a massive booth.
I would imagine they were showing off the new Pokemon game there.
Pokemon was like the entire booth that they had. It was kind of insane. They just had like an actual Pokemon gym built.
Yeah, they showed off a new trainer actually there.
Yeah, they showed off one of the gym leaders, Nisa or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that he's in love with.
Yeah, she's a water Pokemon
Water
master.
type.
Yeah.
Misty Muaside Nisa is my new best friend.
There was also the Monster Hunt booth. You went there.
I did go to the Monster Hunter booth. I actually have a picture of the giant monster that they had. I got to play against Tigrex, which was very fun. Tigrex was a very entertaining monster to fight. I obviously played as Insect Glaive because I'm a professional. And I mounted the monster 3 times because I'm a genius.
Also very humble.
Also very humble. They had a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot booth there, but I didn't get to do anything because the lines were too long, which made me sad. I really wanted to do Dragon Ball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the RPG that's coming out, right?
Yeah, the fighting RPG.
Yeah.
It goes through Goku's storylines and stuff. Then there is also, speaking of anime fighting games, I did play the Kill la Kill fighting game that they had there. That was an interesting game to say the least. It's a very unique fighting game. I wouldn't necessarily call it a good fighting game. I did completely destroy the person I was playing against because they were bad and I was just less bad. So I also knew the characters. I was like, I'm going to pick this character. And he was like, I'm going to pick the blue one.
Sounds like how I would pick the character. I would have no idea.
I mean, listen, that's how we all used to pick characters. Let's not all pretend that you played Mortal Kombat and you didn't pick Sub-Zero because he was the blue ninja. All right?
I tended to pick Sonya Blade.
Well,
sorry. I'm sorry I offended Copper's religion of Sonya Blade. I played as Nanon because she's best girl from that show. I'm the best. But I'm trying to think what else I did. Well, then after that, I had a meeting with the Cyberpunk people. That was fun.
oh yeah.
Went to go see Cyberpunk, which looks really, really good. I'm buying it on launch. I'm playing it all the way through. I recommend looking into it if you're interested. It looks really fun. It has Keanu Reeves.
I had planned to get that game when it came out as well.
It definitely, it looks like it plays really well. They're very casual about a lot of the movement stuff. But there was
How do you
a lot
mean?
of really cool side movement things. I think he randomly double jumped at one point and didn't say anything about it.
Huh.
There's also a lot of, from what I've heard, a lot of different build options and.
Yes. So the demo they showed us, they actually played 2 demos side by side in the same area. So they had one that was stealth tech build, and they had one that was aggressive loud build.
Which one did you didn't get to play though? You just got to watch.
The techie build was going, and you were sneaking around and hacking cameras and stuff, and counter hacking and doing mini games, and that opened up one set of pathways for you. And then the other set of pathways was if you were super, super strong, you could literally just rip open doors.
That's amazing.
So there was the other V, who was the girl one was the strong one. She was just ripping open doors and beating people. But the hacking one took an entirely different route, killed 0 people and stealthed all the way through. They also showed some dialogue options, and it's if you, depending on the background that you choose for your game, you can have more dialogue options or less, because you can choose to have a corporate background, a street background, or there was one other one that I forget what it was. But basically, you grew up a street kid, corporate, or an assassin. And depending on what you chose, you had different options. So like at one point they acknowledge like who you are, but you haven't talked to them about it. And if you had the street kid option, then you could like figure out how they knew who you were. But other than that, like you wouldn't be able to. Just super fun. Gunplay looks actually good for a first-person shooter, which is what I was worried about because I haven't seen CD Projekt Red make a first-person shooter.
Well,
I
no
don't
one
think any of
has.
you guys have either.
This is their first one, so
It's like seeing it come together is really nice. I'm trying to think what else I saw. Dying Light 2 had another long demo with them. It's Dying Light 1, but better in every conceivable way. They added the ability to make choices, which is super cool. And they showed off that depending on the choice that you make, you can open up entire extra areas of the map and unlock additional zombie archetypes to fight, or you could just do nothing.
nothing.
So which was really cool because like the way that they were doing it is like it was a small like storyline plot of, hey, we're trying to get water for the city, and you can either drain a lake or like hear this guy out who's telling you not to drain the lake. If you drain the lake, you open up an entirely new region with an entirely new subset of zombie. But if you don't drain the lake, then you get water another way. And one of your guys in your group was like stabbing you in the back, and you have to figure out why.
That seems interesting. So I might warrant a couple playthroughs.
Really good. I really enjoy Dying Light.
I loved Dead Islands and Dying Light. They're really fun. Me and Kaylee played those games together, so like I wouldn't doubt me and Kaylee would want to play those together again, or play Dying Light 2 together.
They were also the number that they were stressing really hard is when you play the game you through all the way one time, you will not have experienced 50% of the game.
Cool.
That was what they were stressing, was you experience less than half the game on your first play.
Well, yeah, because you'd have to make different choices to open up different areas and things like that.
Different areas and different plot lines and all that stuff. So that's the number they were stressing.
It's
real. Like, that's cool.
It's very rare for me to play a game, like play through a game twice. If it's like a game of that genre, or kind of like, just go play it again for the story stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
There's a lot of games that I like to play twice. Like I've played Sekiro like 6 times. I've played through all the Halos a million times.
Yeah. I guess that's.
Which we'll talk about Halo later.
Okay.
Other than that, I didn't really do anything except for I went and played Fortnite for a bit and accidentally stumbled into a $1 million tournament. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Comfy is now also known as Fishstick. Yes.
So that was cool. I just played in a custom tournament hosted by Epic on a team with Musilk and Vicstar and some dude who was on American Idol at one point.
Yeah, it was really entertaining to watch that whole stream. Like all of us were sitting there watching Comfy together. It was a really good time.
Entertaining up to the point where he didn't get an interview.
We were so mad that you didn't get the interview.
Everybody was mad. Like, this is all I get to talk to people about now is you didn't get an interview, and we were mad about it. I was like, yep. It's kind of dumb that they decided to screw us, but
it was so weird. Like, up to that point, every time someone would won a round, they got an interview.
Mm-hmm.
No, so here's what it is they wanted to interview specific people, and they made that list ahead of time, and then said that, like, hey, if that team wins, then we just go straight to them. And we were not on that list.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but
which is stupid because up to that point, it basically looked for anybody watching the event that they're interviewing winners, because every team they'd interviewed up to that, like up to you guys, was the winner of that round. So it was
funny how that works, right?
And so people were like, "Wow,
screwed.
This is great. We're gonna get to see Comfy because his team won. They've only interviewed winners, which makes perfect sense to anybody watching an event like this, that you interview the winner of the round."
So you just got second place. What does it feel like to almost win?
It's like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah. It didn't feel good, but it was still fun. I still enjoyed it.
That's good.
I had a good time. I had a bunch of free Fortnite merch and a bunch of free V-Bucks. So
Speaking of your Fortnite merch, did they manage to actually get you what was it, the headset?
oh
Think it
no,
was?
I haven't
No?
heard anything.
Uh
It was in the rule. It was in the official rule book. So
yeah, it's in the rule book, which means they're actually legally required to give it to you guys. So
yeah. So
kind of curious
I'll
about that.
follow up with that in another week or so. Just be like, yo, person who is in charge, what the heck is going on?
For those who don't know, one of the things the company was supposed to get or competing and finishing within the top 4, I believe it
Yeah,
is.
it was the top 4.
Um,
Headset
is
valued at like $300 that was just Fortnite themed,
yep,
which we've all discussed and said, wow, you can sell that for a lot of money on eBay.
Yeah.
yeah, way more than $300
Yeah, as long as it's actually like decent.
because there was a lot of stuff from E3 that people were selling online because it's worth
Like
money.
the cyberpunk jackets that people were selling for $400 to $1,000.
Yes,
Not wearing, not flexing.
that Comfy, for anybody who's wondering who can't see him currently because you're listening to a recording, is currently wearing because he managed to get one from the press event.
Yeah. Because it was literally like if you show up, they just like gave it to you.
Nice.
Like, here you go, here's your thing.
It was you needed to show up and be like you needed to actually have like the meeting with them, which is really funny because there were a lot of people who were like, "Well, I'm with this person, so I want to come in."
Yeah.
And I was fine because I actually organized a meeting like a smart person. And I had a lot of people I knew that were like, "Oh my god, I wish I had a meeting." I was like, "All you had to do is respond to the email." It's like, "Yeah, probably should have done that."
It's like, yeah, respond to the email. The thing they say, like, here, if you do this, you can come inside and
Yeah, that
see
was
things.
literally
Like,
it.
Read
That was-
emails. Got it. I will do that.
It was literally an email that's like, "Hey, we only have limited spots. Make sure you pick one." And I was like, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
Let me pick one of your limited spots. And I got one of the limited spots because I paid attention.
and answered a simple email.
Literally. Like it's amazing how people just don't pay attention.
It's what you get. People are like, meh. Like, I check my email a ton every day.
I have all
And
3 of my emails that I use actively open in other tabs watching in case the numbers go up.
The only time I've missed an email is when it is, for some reason, and I don't know why, gone to my junk mail. Like, every other request for like business I get goes to my actual in folder. This person's email, for some reason, even though it was the same type of email of other business stuff, went straight to junk mail, and I never saw it for like 4 weeks.
Huh.
All of my emails with meta threads were in my spam folder. All of them.
Huh. Okay.
I had to like manually remove them from my spam folder.
Did you set them as not spam?
I set them as not spam, yes.
Yeah.
But hey, that is a cool thing that's happening for sure.
Yes, the stuff with meta threads is going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dale, if you don't know about it, we can tell you about it after.
You
Just
should
because,
know the gist of it, but like,
Yeah.
let me tell him because like I'm gonna stop streaming the moment this is over.
yeah,
Okay.
because it's not public stuff. So
Yeah.
Where do
but
I
it is stuff.
even see junk? Okay, never mind. I'm not worried about
Probably
If
the
it-
junk tab.
if
I
it's
had to
your
guess.
if you're in Gmail, you actually have to open up your tab section and then go to it,
Mhm.
which is why I never saw that anything was in it.
I'm in whatever like email thing comes with the computer. Comes on the computer.
Oh, Outlook probably if you're on.
Yeah.
I don't use Outlook.
I have a couple of Outlook like Hotmail accounts, but they're not for business.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to finding a better like email manager thingy to do. Anyway,
Gmail's
Yeah.
It is. So for me, for the last little while, I've been crazy busy with work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have.
aside
How's the sex pool?
aside from the normal stuff I had booked, I picked up some work from Rare Drop. Um, which, for those who don't know, those are the guys who own things like King's Coast Coffee and
Guardian Con,
run Guardian Con, which we're all excited for.
and we'll get into in a minute.
So I've picked up some work from those guys. I've done a few shirt designs, 3 now for them. No, 4. I've done 4 for them. 3 are currently up on their store. The 4th is a exclusive design for King Gathalion, which is coming out this coming week, I believe. So that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do a template thing for Paul to make his life easier, and I've got some redacted work coming, which should probably be announced soon. Just because I think they're announcing more stuff next week.
Nice.
And other than that, I got to do a thing for gigs yesterday, last minute.
I saw
Again,
that.
thanks to Kevin actually for that. Kevin reached out to me because gigs needed help and got to do that for him, which was cool. So yeah, I've been insanely busy. Gonna be fully busy, it looks like, until Guardian Con, and I've got some work lined up for some people after that already as well, which is nice. But yeah, that's been my life. It's just work, work, work for the last
Yeah.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Dale was out getting a sunburn.
Yeah, I got sunburnt a little bit yesterday. You can't tell on the podcast. I'm not like super burnt, but it's enough that I'm like, I'm so tired. I don't know why
They
the
make you.
sunburn. I think just
I find that sunburns make you tired.
like just being in the sun all day yesterday. It's drained me. I'm exhausted.
Well, yeah, I mean you're outside all day doing
Yeah.
stuff with family and things. So
I am super sleepy. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been up to much. Normal stuff, streaming, working. Nothing fancy. Just normal stuff. I don't really have anything super exciting going on. Not for a couple weeks when I get my like vacation, but
well, you also have
yeah, I get to. I'm going
Kevin
to
coming
be streaming on KV Magic 101's channel for a few days in the beginning of July, which corresponds and is kind of the reason for my like vacation, which I realized the other day. It's actually 7 days in a row of me being a full-time streamer, which is cool. And then I'm gonna really fucking hate going back to work.
Oh, you really are. So when do you start? Is it the Friday that you start, or you?
Well, I mean, I have the 4th off. I have the 4th of July off because America.
Right, holiday. Yeah.
Yep. I probably will be antisocial and play video games, and then I have Friday. I will be on K Magic 101's channel from like 8:30 to 1 p.m. and then again on Monday, and Wednesday, and then other than that, it's just I will probably stream an absurd amount on my own channel.
Well, I'm back on Monday. Well, I'm back on Sunday, but Monday is when I'll maybe be a person again. So
I don't know what the plan's going to be for my Sunday because there's no way in hell we're going to be recording a podcast.
No, I'm flying on that day.
Yeah,
so
like that's going to be actually impossible.
6 hours.
So I'll just like take a nap.
We'll just take that week off, and then I mean, and you've got Kevin's channel that day too. So
no, I don't. On Sunday,
no. Sunday? Okay.
Nope. I have it
so
on the. It'll be the 5th, 8th, and the 10th. I will be on Kevin's channel.
As Kevin takes a break from.
Yeah, and those were like his. Those were his scheduled.
Front page days,
front page slots. Yeah. So.
That should be interesting. Did you figure out what you're going to play yet?
No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. I'll figure something out.
True.
We'll figure it out.
You'd probably change your mind.
That's true. I don't know. I don't know. It's possible I'll just end up playing Destiny. That might just be a easy. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm still trying to grind out these last couple hundred followers, or not couple hundred. Jesus Christ. I'm
46.
like 44
Six.
away.
44, yes.
44 away from hitting 2K on Mixer, which for those of you that don't know, which will then allow me to apply for partner on the platform. I'm hopeful I could get it. We'll see. Time will tell.
Well, I think you're going to get it.
Hopefully. I'm hoping. I just gotta finish. I don't know. I'm just gonna go play Fortnite for 3 hours, and then I'll get that. Who wants to come play Fortnite? Nobody, because I'm not gonna play Fortnite.
Well, we have a Fortnite pro here. He can come help you.
I was talking about the other day. I was like, that feels like a cop out, and I don't want to do that. So
I understand how it would feel like that, but it is a tactic that
it's a
people have used.
tactic. I know. If it's prop hunt with sub op, Drake, I mean.
Yeah, they had a ton of fun playing.
Yeah,
prop
I
hunt.
was out of. I might have partook yesterday if I wasn't out of town. But yeah, I was at my family reunion all day, which is why my head looks like a tomato and not a potato today. It's not that red. It's a little bit red though. Like it's enough where I can like, I don't want to touch it, but at the same time, it's like I have to. You know, I was wearing sunscreen, Drake.
Apparently not enough.
Apparently not enough, or I never reapplied, which is also a thing that you.
Are supposed to.
Did you reapply it every 2 hours? You're supposed to do it every 2 hours? No, I didn't.
Depending on the sunscreen, yeah.
All right.
And how sunny out it is.
All right, dads.
Especially if you're putting it on your head, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I should have like the. Yeah, I should have been
wear
better.
A hat.
I should have been better.
A hat would be great too.
I have a white pasty head and a child to read these things. Yeah, Drake. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Drake probably knows how much his sunburnt skull is annoying.
Yeah, I'm learning. It's not like super burnt though. It's enough that it's like kind of uncomfortable, but not like.
Not
It
awful.
doesn't like hurt too much. It's not like I slept fine last night. Wait till it peels all over your pillow. I can't. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to having a whole head to peel. It's gonna be gross, but like, come on.
Could be worse. You could have sunburnt like the sole side of your face.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay any attention to Kaylee. I know she said she was sunburnt. I didn't think to look or notice. When you wake up breathing and tasting it, I feel like Drake has.
Drake has done this. This is what
Drake has gotten a really bad head sunburn before.
Every guy who's bald generally gets one really bad one, and then they don't get another one.
This one is not bad. Like I'm not gonna say it's a really bad one.
It's one of those things where you learn your lesson the first time.
Can I get a day off of work though? Do you think? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'm not gonna skip work because I got a sunburn. I'm an adult with good work ethic. I'm not gonna do that.
Definitely was here the whole time.
100%.
We knew you were. Don't worry
But just in case I wasn't, what did I miss?
about it. Dale having a sunburned head.
Oh,
And-
no.
Yep. And just talking about me having a whole like week of vacation in the beginning of July. While you guys are on all doing Guardian Con things, I'll be full-time streamer for a week, which will be kind of fun.
That'll be fun, right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, have we given any thought to what we're gonna cover next episode?
Oh, good lord.
I haven't yet, but we are starting to get close to the end of this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting there. Like,
And then next season, though, we have a lot of interesting returning shows coming, which is interesting.
Oh,
that's what I've heard.
Well, Food
really
Wars
excited
is
for
supposed to be back, is it not?
I think Food Wars is fall.
Is it fall? Because if
I
we get
believe it's fall.
if we get
will-
Food Wars anytime soon, God, I want to make Dale watch the first 3 episodes.
I'll absolutely do it.
Mm-hmm. God,
Absolutely. Food Wars is on
I'm
the
excited
list.
about being not excited.
Let's see what season. Release date.
I have not been paying any attention to anything coming out. The only thing that I've
Dude, we've all been
been,
so busy recently.
yeah,
Okay.
Well,
Did you guys talk about Guardian Con at all?
We have not talked about that yet.
no.
As of about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, the Guardian Con Twitch charity block ended. The total raised for Guardian Con this year so far is $3.7 million.
It's insane. What did they raise last year?
Last year, 3.7 was total.
Yep.
We're hitting that before we enter the convention this year.
Nice. It's very
They've
cool.
also sold like 3 times, pre-sold like 3 times as many tickets. So it's
Well,
like,
isn't it a much bigger convention site this year?
it is. It's a very much bigger convention site this year. They've pre-sold, I want to say like 4,000, like over 4,000 tickets. So, and they're expecting a lot of foot traffic from the Orlando area by itself. So there's going to be a lot of people there, which is cool because there's a lot going on. I mean, you've got Borderlands there, you've got Bungie there, both are bringing something unique. Rare is going to be there, which is their most recent announcement. There's some indie developers there. They're bringing some interesting stuff. The big show is going to be there. There's a lot of great artists going, some voice
So
actors
you'd say
going.
it's going to be a pretty big show then.
Yes, very big show.
Yeah, the voice actress for Eris from Destiny, as well as the voice actress of Maya from Borderlands, is going to be there, which is super cool. So, hey kids, buy your tickets. They're already sold out of the premium and Premier Plus passes.
Yep. I got the premium tickets. I didn't get Premier the Plus.
I got the Premier Plus.
The Plus were sold out when I went to go buy my tickets. Like that's how fast
really?
those sold out. Those sold out real quick.
Yeah, we got those for everybody in our hotel room, so that's super cool. But hey, you know what else is going to be in Orlando that weekend?
You on another stage?
Have you guys heard about Halo Outpost?
Is it a stage with a pole on it? Because I kind of want to see that one.
Basically the same weekend as Guardian Con, although for 3 days instead of just 2 is Halo Outpost, which is basically a Halo convention. It's going to be really cool, and I'm just trying to convince people to go so I won't be alone.
All by myself. But you'll have more room on the comfy couch, though, if you're alone.
Well, I've heard a lot of people want to go on the
Sunday,
which is the day.
Sunday's like, so I will be playing on the main stage there on Saturday at 11 a.m. I will be there all day Sunday for just like shits and giggles.
Cool.
Because they have like laser tag and VR experiences and AR experiences and an escape room, and there's just a lot going on that's really cool.
Like a Halo escape room?
Yeah, like escaping from a Covenant ship.
Oh, that sounds
and
cool.
It's by 343, so they have all of like Microsoft's funding and everything. It's just going to be insane.
Yeah, that's probably going to be ridiculously fun then.
If you're into Halo, it'll be super cool.
I miss being into Halo.
Halo
Hopefully, we will know when Halo Reach is coming to PC.
I've only played one Halo game.
Announced.
Maybe they'll announce it with the Halo.
Yeah,
whatever.
I've only ever played one Halo game. That was the first
one?
game.
Dude, Halo's super fun, Copper. Like if
the original Halo when it came out, I rented an Xbox with my brother. We played through it. Went, that was a game, and never rented it or played any of the Halo games again.
Wow. Okay.
Halo Reach, best Halo, changed my mind.
That's fine.
Halo Reach is the best Halo game, so you can't change my mind. That's the joke there.
Oh, okay. I feel like I didn't. I guess Halo Reach was okay.
The joke, yeah.
I didn't. I mean,
it's okay.
I don't know if I would say Halo Reach was my favorite, but It was good.
All right. Anything else that we need to talk about besides whatever show we're watching next week?
I don't know anything you guys want to bring
Did
up.
anybody consider anything for next week yet?
No, I'm out of. I have no idea. This is your guys' job.
What?
All right,
I mean,
time for a good old stand-in of Monster Girls. Since Dale didn't consider.
You know what? He said it's our job. That means
Means it's okay, right?
I mean, does it have to be?
I mean, you said it was our job. What do you want me to do?
uh,
I mean, hey, I could put forth Bikini Warriors if you want to look that up.
let's watch Keijo.
Let's watch what now?
Keijo.
The bloody hell is that?
Let me pull up my anime list reading for it for you. 1 second.
Now, there are a couple of newer shows that came out this season we haven't tried yet, like the Lost City show.
Yes, that is true. All right. So the show is called Keijo with 8 exclamation points. Japan's latest competitive sport, Keijo, is dictated by a simple set of rules. Female-only participants must stand on circular platforms floating in a pool referred to as lands, with the goal of being to knocking off opponents using only their breasts and butts.
I remember you talking about this.
The sport attracts millions of viewers across the country and boasts a lavish prize pool. Many aspiring athletes take up the challenge in hopes of becoming the next national champion. It is just one of the shows that you watch it and you're like, wow, I didn't need to watch this.
Now, for those wondering, this show also features special attack moves featuring the butt and boobs.
And all of the special attack moves are making fun of other shows.
Yes.
Sounds super great.
There's the Gates of Bootylon, which is the Gates of Babylon from Fate. There is Butt Attack on Titan, which is Attack on Titan, believe it or not.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of it's exactly as ridiculous as you think it is. And it's great for a reason. But there you go. That's my suggestion for boobs and butts.
Copper, what do you suggest?
There's that. There is that one. I think I'm not sure if he'd hate that one more than Monster Girls. I think Monster Girls would bother him more.
Monster Girls bothers me, so yes.
Well, then let's watch Monster Girls, so I'm not the only one uncomfortable.
All right, Monster.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Oh man.
This is gonna be a time, chat.
I'm gonna bitch.
If you hear this before we start the show, don't watch this one. You're not gonna like it. It's a heads up warning for you.
What do you mean? Seal is a nympho. Come on now.
This episode is a mistake.
This is a mistake. But that was a joke there because in my playthrough of Darkest Dungeon right now, Seal's character is actually a nympho, Comfy, and we have a laugh about it.
We do. It's great.
It's pretty funny.
My life is a mistake.
Okay.
That's probably also true. It's fine.
Yeah?
Don't worry about it.
It's just a little bit. It's okay. We'll get there one day, chat.
You will.
So, what are you guys going to be up to
this week?
Coming week? Anything fancy?
Oh, there's a viewer bonus for Mixers, so I'm trying to grind super hard and play. We're gonna try out some Sea of Thieves tomorrow, I believe.
That'll be fun. Sea of Thieves is a good time every once in a while.
Sea of Thieves is a very good time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be trying to play more Apex because I want to get back into BRs, but not like Fortnite BRs. He says while playing Fortnite.
Well, you're not playing the BR mode.
Yes, I'm not.
It's true though.
I'm playing just a parkour course, which is kicking my ass in. But it's fun.
Yeah, that I've been enjoying watching you like make it through these challenges. Cause I always watch Comfy stream while he's doing the podcast, while we're podcasting.
Because I am the entertainment. Who entertains the entertainers? Who watches the watchmen?
There you go. But yeah,
we'll find out when the new show comes out.
Copper is going to be busy doing graphics design stuff because he only lives for work right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, aside from the stuff I have pre getting stuff from Kevin. I've got some redacted stuff to do, which is interesting. And you guys will probably see that soonish.
Very
Don't know
soon.
when.
Cool.
I don't know when, but it's not going to be that long because Guardian Con is just around the corner. So
Yeah, like literally a week from Tuesday is when I leave.
So I think the first thing I'll see that's kind of redacted is the thing for Goth, since there is a exclusive shirt launching for him. So it'll be the first thing that gets shown. The other stuff is later. Um, and then I also got my website up. Very, very basic, but it's up. So that's cool. I'll have to update that soon though, because
Finally.
I'll have all this stuff to throw up on it as well, which is great.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna steal his website, like just take everything from it and upload it as my own website. Use that to get jobs.
So here's my work. Don't check on this.
Just like change the email address and like put my name over any watermarks. Like just very, very poorly though. It's the perfect plan.
You laugh, but I've seen people do stuff like that, so it's like, oh boy. Because they didn't really realize there was like a watermark on the image. They were saying, dude, it's like, there's a watermark on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just got work pretty much right up until I leave. And that's my whole time. And then I've got a super long flight down to Orlando because I have like a 6-hour layover now.
Oh god, that's gonna be terrible.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I know. I'm just gonna be grinding on stream as much as I can this next week whenever I'm not at work.
It gives me time to go through customs and, grab lunch.
Which I mean you'll probably need.
Well, I'm going through customs up here in Canada, so
make sure you bring the paperwork that says A, that you're getting married, and B, that you're actually coming back.
Poor fish.
Oh god.
Yeah, she's going down soon because she's got all that paperwork.
Yeah, that's this week.
Yep. I hope to get the live stream stuff because that'll be nice to be able to see it since we can't be there.
Yes. It would be very nice, but it's all a question of logistics.
Yes.
So.
How about you, Dale? What are you up to this week? Just normal work stuff and
normal stuff. I'm gonna hopefully actually, I don't know, finish fixing my audio. I thought I had it fixed, but it.
Are you gonna start the Game Pass stuff this week?
Yes. Yeah, I was just talking about that a little bit ago. I'm gonna be doing a lot of PC Game Pass stuff.
Game Pass is really good.
Yeah, like I made a list.
Really good games that pass.
I made a list just a little bit ago, so it's going to be like I'm going to focus on that, and I'm still going to be, of course, dabbling in some Destiny stuff.
And there's stuff for everyone there too on that pass. Like it's not just here's like strategy games. It's like for shooters.
There's a lot of strategy games that I am interested in though, so there's going to be a ton of stuff on that.
There's like literally everything. If you want Gears is on there. If you want Halo's on there. If you want Call of Duty, there are games like Call of Duty on there.
There's strategy games on there. There's puzzle games on there.
I think like Zoo Tycoon is on there, or like the new one.
Yeah, Zoo Tycoon. I think I might.
There's like sim games. Like it's a really comprehensive, like well put together package for a very low amount per month.
Yeah, right now it's
it's real worth.
It's $5 right now for PC because it's beta still.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should order that because
do it.
$1 to start Xbox Games Pass Ultimate, which includes Xbox Live and PC and normal Games Pass.
Well, I don't have a Xbox, so no point of.
Honestly, Xbox Game Pass is still worth it if you own a PC because so many games are crossplay. Not as worth as the PC Games Pass, but like the Xbox Games Pass, like you get Sea of Thieves, you get Minecraft, you get Gears, you get all these other things that you wouldn't normally have for free. You get Crackdown, like you get all the first party titles.
Yeah, I think most of those are on the PC one as well. So it is definitely worth it. If you have both, go for it. If you just want the PC one, still grab the $1 thing for a month because it's $1. Enjoy it for a month. See if it's for you because like shit, $1 is like nothing. Everybody's got $1. Like pay $1, try it out, see what you like. If you think it's gonna be worth it, go worth it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I gotta try it out because there's a lot of interesting games on there that I'm like, oh, I want to grab this, I want to grab that. I'm like, well, these are on this. I might
There's
as well just
probably
get
going to be a
this.
bunch that I play, and then I'm like, nope, this sucks. And then never touch again. But that's okay. It's five.
Yeah,
It's
there's games on there I know aren't gonna be for me, but there's also things on there.
There's
like,
also going to be games that you bully me into playing that you know I'm going to hate. But it's like,
is like the Old Man's Journey.
damn it.
It's because of the title alone. I'm gonna bully you till you play it.
I'm gonna bully you. That sounds fun.
How to Fu Boyfriend is on there, and the
That's a
girlfriend is
perfect
already
game.
requesting that Dale play through that.
Oh
It's a
my
perfect
God.
game.
So
I mean,
that is
I
a
made a
thing.
whole list. Like, I'm just going to start knocking out titles in that list.
I mean, you're a human trying to hook up with pigeons. Who isn't into that? Come on
I
now.
mean, I also have access to the first two Metro games through either EA Access or Discord Nitro. So I might, and then the Metro Exodus is on Games Pass. So like, I
It
could
is on
maybe.
Games Pass. I recommend Metro games a lot. I
I've
like
played
them
the
a lot.
first two, but I never streamed them. So I might play those and then play Exodus. It's a possibility. There's a lot to play. A lot of stuff that I'm gonna be working on. So
It's
Mm,
that's my plan until September. I'm sure my plan will probably change a couple times because I'm
man,
terrible at
September's gonna be
planning.
so fun.
And
September's gonna be so busy.
September's still like 3 months away. So
Oh, hey, wait, guys, have you heard about how the new Pokemon game is gonna suck?
I mean, I'm sure it'll still be fine.
Or people complaining because there's like Pokemon out in the open world.
No, it's because you can't catch them all.
Look, there's like 800 Pokemon in the game still.
Yeah,
I feel like that is an irrelevant argument. Like, there's still 800.
What do you mean they're not all in it? It's like
there's
That's the entire point of Pokemon, though.
I'm sure.
Is it though?
That
Listen, every single Pokemon is somebody's favorite.
That's true.
I'm sure that
it doesn't matter if you don't like it, somebody out there does, and that person is getting left out because for the first time in forever, Game Freak is like, nah, we're too lazy.
well, there's the thing. They haven't ever put every single Pokemon to every Pokemon game. They put some from older games in, which is fine. But
No. In
That's
every single Pokemon game until this one, you can get every single Pokemon in every game.
that's
Now,
not
you can't get them all from that region. However, you can transfer them from previous games or other miscellaneous ways.
well,
This
that's
game,
the thing, though.
however, any game.
This is the first game on this system, so of course it's going to be more difficult to transfer.
First game
stuff
on
over.
3DS, you were able to transfer games from previous games. First game on DS, you're able to transfer games from Pokemon from previous games.
But those are still systems using the same like archetype. Like it's
The
easy.
Pokemon Switch Pokemon will be connected to Pokemon Bank, which is connected to the 3DS versions.
Yes, and
It-
I'm
it
glad they
literally-
didn't. Here's the thing, though. I'm glad they're not focusing on that to start with. I'd rather everybody focus on new stuff first because that's more interesting, and I'm sure it's something they'll add down the line.
It seems a
because
little nitpicky to go. This
It's
game's
very
gonna
nitpicky.
suck.
It's insanely nitpicky. The people who are upset about this are being stupid. They're not going to play with older Pokemon to start with. They're all going to start playing with the newer ones to begin with because that's what everybody does. Like, why play with something I know what it does and its abilities are if I can try like find some new guys first? Yeah,
Right.
everybody's got a favorite Pokemon. Eventually, they're going to want to have that Pokemon in their party and whatnot. So be it. But you might as well play with the new stuff first and focus on that. And that's what the game devs want them to do. People don't like it, and it's like, well, what do you want? Like, like focus on what's here first.
Hmm.
And you are gonna die,
No.
Comfy.
No, I'm good. I don't.
Yeah, because it's lazy.
There's no actual good reason for them to do it. For them to not do. Not to add
Maybe
all the Pokemon.
because it's on a new system, so they'd have to make all the different character models for every single Pokemon.
They already had to do that for Sun and Moon.
There's
They already have
hundreds-
the models.
Yeah, they need to port them over. It's an insane amount of
It
work.
is not that hard to port that over from those formats.
It really depends on how they built this. If they're using a new game engine, it's not that easy. You know it.
The thing is that Nintendo has been setting up for them to be able to transfer everything anyways. And then for Game Freak to just be like, nah, we're good. And also, before you're like, oh, they didn't have enough time or anything, somebody actually did like a breakdown of it. And basically, Game Freak is trying to just not make Pokemon anymore. They're actually being lazy because they don't want to make it anymore.
I doubt they don't want to make it anymore. It's their mainstay game, and it makes them so much money that no company is going to go, I don't want to do this anymore. There's always going to be people they can hire who want to work in that game.
Why did they cut their team size down by half and open another team making another project then?
Because they want to make
with Nintendo where they said we want to make other games and Nintendo said no.
Because they want to make other stuff as well. That's understandable. But it doesn't mean
Nintendo is using them as a golden goose to make Pokemon, so they're trying to get out of making Pokemon so they can do other things.
Yeah, and if they want to do that, they can leave that studio to go to a different studio.
Game Freak as a studio wants to change. It's like when Bungie didn't want to make Halo anymore, except Nintendo is not as benevolent as Microsoft was.
That's because Nintendo also partially owns the license. So,
I mean, Microsoft partially owned the Halo license.
Yes, and Bungie gave it up completely. Now, if Game Freak wants to do the same thing and get out, they could do that.
That's what they're trying to do.
And I think it's stupid. From a business standpoint, not from an artistic standpoint, that's something different. From a purely business,
at it from a business standpoint.
They're not, which is dumb. Because if you're running a company and you're like, we don't want to do billions of dollars, you're a fucking idiot. Just 100%. That's what that is. If you are running a business and you're like, I don't want to do this thing that's making me all over money anymore because I want to do something else, okay, you should probably set it up so that your business can still keep doing that thing, but you can still work on something else. And that means doubling the size of your workforce, not reducing it.
Yeah,
because it's not like they don't have the money.
No, they definitely do. They're being lazy, which is the point. Which is why people are mad.
They're not being lazy. They're trying to get out of making those games. They're trying to force Nintendo to put another developer on it. That's not being lazy. That's a business tactic for someone who wants to get away from making something, which is fine. It's just a bad business decision. Because you can't guarantee your next project, no matter what it is, even if it's a passion project, is going to be something that catches on. There's going to be a lot of people who are upset that you as a company don't work on this other thing anymore. I mean, Bungie got a lot of flack when they left and had to go through that. There's always people like that. And if you have a small studio at this point because you have let half your people go, then you're going to have a harder time making something. Especially when there are competitors moving into the market. That's not really the time you want to push away from the thing that makes you a lot of money and, cut down on it. Especially when you own the IP. It's just not a good decision. I get it being artistically burnt out on something and wanting to work on something else because you've been doing this one thing for like 20 years. I get it, more so than most people would because I do work in an artistic field. But when you're running a business, like the people at the top making these decisions going, yeah, we should do that, that's just not good for their employees.
So you do realize that like you're on the same side of me in this conversation at this point, right?
I'm saying they're not.
Game Freak is being stupid.
I'm saying they're being stupid, not being lazy. Those are two different things.
Okay. However, they are doing both of them at the same time.
They are being very, very stupid. And well, I don't think any of the devs and stuff who work there are lazy. Like, I think they're trying to do.
I think it's a management decision.
I think it's a management decision, and I think it's a bad management decision. And I think Nintendo.
That's the point. That is the point.
And I think Nintendo is basically saying, "You're being stupid. Stop it."
That's kind of what I was trying to say. Like, they're trying to move off of Pokemon, but they're doing it in the dumbest way possible, and it's sacrificing their current game's quality because of it. And trust me, you saying like you can get people that want to work on Pokemon, absolutely. I guarantee you that half, if not more, of the people that are working there are new hires that are dying to make a Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, and
Like-
there's like if you went to any game studio like that wasn't Game Freak and said, "Hey, Game Freak would like you to come over and make a Pokemon game. Would you be willing to leave and come work for them?" Most people are probably going to say yes.
Yeah, like depending on the person, you're absolutely going to say, "Yeah, I will leave my job and go make Pokemon."
Yeah,
But that's
because
but the company as a whole, which is why I'm saying it's a management decision. The
Yeah,
company
it's
as
a-
a whole wants to move off of Pokemon because the Pokemon games are really not profitable. They really don't make a lot of money because Game Freak only makes money off of the games. They don't make any money off of licensing or
yes, 'Cause they don't-
products or movies, which is what like a
that's what
ridiculous amount, like over 70% of their
because
money comes from.
that's the part that Nintendo owns.
Exactly. And
Um,
Nintendo shows it super hard, and and
Yes.
Nintendo, like Pokemon makes so much money for Nintendo, but it really doesn't make a lot of money for Game Freak, which is one of the reasons they want to move off of it.
Now that said, that's a Game Freak not optimizing the profitability of their games properly as well.
Yes, but let's think for a second. Do we want Game Freak to start quote unquote optimizing their games properly?
Well, I don't want them to start doing things like loot boxes or that. No. But them doing DLC, sure. I'd like to see
I would
DLC.
take DLC.
Like DLC,
I
like if
wouldn't take more
especially-
Pokemon as DLC, but I'd take more regions.
well, there's the thing. If you bundle the two together, like here's a new region and it has new Pokemon in it, yeah, I'll take that all day. Like,
You
shit,
ready? You ready for the easiest DLC possible?
give me previous regions with previous Pokemons.
Not even that. Give us new Pokemon with give us old Pokemon with new regions.
Yeah, I'll
Give
take
us
both.
new areas to explore that will give us like this is the Gen 1, 2 island, this is the Gen 3, 4 island. Like
Well, there's
you
the
can
thing.
do
Like,
that super easy.
give me the ability to go back to some previous regions, go through their gym systems with some new Pokemon in it and some old Pokemon in it. And yeah, you'll sell those DLCs no problem. And you still make a shit ton of, and you, because it's a game, make a ton of money.
Remember
Or,
remember Gold and Silver?
do the thing that everybody has been screaming at you to do for, like, I don't know, 15 fucking years and make an actual official Pokemon MMO. Have it
It'd
have
be
a
so easy.
have it have a subscription. People will pay for that, no fucking problem.
Yeah,
And
The only
100%.
problem is that the only like team you're ever gonna fight is just dragon teams.
That's a balancing issue and can be addressed.
You're only gonna fight
And
dragon teams and variety teams.
it can be
Or
easily
specialized
be
trainers.
well. There's the thing, you can address that by having actual tournaments where, like, this is a fire Pokemon tournament, this is a water Pokemon tournament, and it has to be of that type to play in the tournament.
Dude,
You can't-
I'll build an ice dark team.
like that's
Tell
the
me
easiest
same
thing.
deck.
Have people have the ability to open gyms and things like that. Like, there's so much they could have done with that. And another people, like, you have now have Temtem moving into that space because the space is there and people have been demanding it forever. And
Yeah.
Game Freak won't move into it because Nintendo's like, for the longest time in online
It's
stuff.
not what the people want.
But now Nintendo is more receptive to online stuff, especially with the Switch being mobile. I would, as a company, push that. I would have said, we're going to make this. This is what the next Pokemon game is going to be. We're going to be able to sell DLC stuff to it. There's going to be an online subscription. It's going to make money hand over fist. You're going to be able to sell so much more merch based on these things. Like, it's just a
Yeah.
hands down,
Well,
like, giant
how
cash
much
cow.
merch were they able to sell off of Pokemon Go that was only big for 1 week? Like,
Well, Pokemon Go is
I'm talking about not like the comeback that they've had and everything, but
well, not in
like
their.
I'm saying like in a
They're
get a
they're
Pokemon MMO and get factions like Pokemon Go has, and like how many people bought hats, t-shirts, backpacks, patches, and stuff that were themed with their team that they chose.
well, there's the thing. Like, every Pokemon Go was huge because it went outside the normal scope of people,
Mhm.
and it stayed really big, and it's still really big.
It definitely
It shrunk, but it also
it blew up overnight, and then it died a week later overnight, and then it's slowly been building its player base back up.
well, died is an odd thing to say when they still had like millions of people playing that game. Like I don't think it ever dipped below 100 million. Like it was,
I'm pretty sure it dipped below 100 million.
but not super far. Like it's
It
still the amount of people who had installed that game and played it and put money into it constantly is and still is nuts. It's about the same thing I'm expecting from the Harry Potter game that just came out from Niantic.
yeah.
I'm expecting the same thing, it to blow up really huge, and then shrink down to your hardcore fan base, and then kind of grow a little bit from there.
It's gonna blow up huge, then shrink down to the hardcore fan base, and then get moderately sized. I think
Yeah,
the Harry
it's
Potter one will actually just stay to like the super hardcore fan base
it might,
because
yeah.
first of
It's
all, it's a dumb game concept. Changed my mind. And it's just capitalizing on Harry Potter because J.K. Rowling has nothing better to do anymore.
I don't even think she's in control of her licensing stuff. I think she makes money off of it, but I don't think she's the one who directly
She
makes
makes
all.
money off of it and she approves it.
Yeah, she's got the approval. They probably came to her and said, "Hey, we want to make a."
Warner Brothers 100% walked up to J.K. Rowling and said, "Hey, look at this thing that Pokemon did. We want to do that."
Like the company that made that
with
wants
Magic.
to make a game with Harry Potter. She probably said, "Okay," and had no decisions past that point.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I think. Like
Yeah.
when I say J.K. Rowling had no time, it was more of just
She
jab
said
at
yes.
her.
Yeah, she
It's a
just
jab
basically
at
said
her for
yes.
being just like a terrible person.
Well, it's the
So
same way where Martin isn't okaying every stupid thing that comes out for Game of Thrones. There, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like,
he gave pre-approval to stuff. Like he
Yeah.
actually had a lot of control early on,
yes,
but he went, but
Well,
he like then
he
greenlit the story outline and nothing else.
he also has a something that Rowling didn't have, which is a background with Hollywood. For those who don't know, he used to write for TV shows, so
Yeah, which is
he's used to that type of merchandising. He's used to this type of licensing and stuff like that. So he wasn't taken advantage of because he was smart and had a background in it. But we are way off topic.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it
You
happens.
know, a
We always
topic
do,
I
though.
want to talk about is how I need to leave for work.
Oh yeah, work today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have work.
So, next week, we're going to be talking about Keijo? No, wait.
No,
this was
Monster
Demon...
Girls.
Monster
We're
Girls?
gonna Monster Mess.
Oh, no. We're doing Monster Girls? Is that it?
So it's Monster Girls in English. Dale, you're gonna hate us. As
I
you can
hate
probably
it already.
you can probably tell because this show makes Comfy uncomfortable.
Yeah. Images.
Um,
Oh, no. Monster Girls are like the girls that are like, look at us.
Monsters.
We saw Monster. Not.
Like you have like the girl that's part snake. You have like a mermaid.
Snake.
There's a bird girl. There's a girl that's a slime. There's gonna be Dale's favorite, which is the girl that's a spider.
Oh, man. That's my kink. All right. So, guys, next week is going to be Monster Girls, and it's going to be a fun time in episode 12 of Fairy Gone. Comfimus has to leave for work. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at copperlineart.com.
That is actually my .com, by the way, or it's copleranddesigns.com.
Dang, I was close.
Oh, is it
was
up
one
now?
of two. So, you can find me on Mixer at Comfimus, Instagram at Comfimus, Twitter at Comfimus, Xbox, PS4 at Comfimus. Use my creator code Comfy because we finally figured that out.
Woo!
After so long.
Months.
So now I can play Fortnite again.
Nice.
But
You really should have made a fish stick.
no, stop. All right. But yeah, we're good. We're done. I'm good. Hey, Copper, where can people find you?
You can find me online at copperlinedesigns.com, which is the easiest place. All my other contact information is there. But you can also look me up on Twitter and Instagram at Copperline Designs and Copperline Art. And Dale, where can people find you at?
You can find me at mixer.com/Mr. Vengeance on Instagram and Twitter. It is _Mr. Vengeance. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Thank you for joining us for episode number 20 of 2.5 Weebs. Next week, episode 21 will be about Monster Girls, and it'll be a fun time. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next week. Have good days.
Bye.
Bye.